Before you build your next school community, course, or offer, I want to slow this down in a way that will save you a lot of confusion. Most people think the next step is to open the platform and start creating. I don't. The platform is not the starting point. The starting point is deciding whether the direction is strong enough to build around. Because if the direction is clear, the community becomes much easier to build. If the direction is unclear, every decision after that becomes guesswork. So this is not a message about building slower. It's a message about building in the right order. When someone decides they want to turn their experience into a school community, the first questions are usually the visible ones. What should I name it? What course should I create? What should I charge? What should the logo look like? How do I even set up school? Those are completely normal questions. They're not bad questions. They're just early. They sound important because they're the things we can see. But they are construction questions. Construction questions have a place, but not before the blueprint. If we answer those too soon, we can end up making decisions around an idea that has not even been clarified yet. The better questions come before the name, the logo, the pricing, the classroom, and the platform setup. The better question is the direction strong enough to build? That is the question I want you to hold on to. Not can I create a group? Most people can create a group. Not can AI help me build faster? It can. The better question is whether you're building a path that a real person can understand, believe in, and see themselves walking through. A polished community with an unclear direction still leaves people confused. A simple community with a clear direction can become useful very quickly. You may not be starting from nothing. You may have decades of work, leadership, family, problem solving, service, training, recovery, transition, or lessons learned. That matters. Your experience is not worthless just because the online world feels new, but experience is raw material. It has to be shaped. Not every story becomes an offer. Not every skill should become a lesson. Not every lesson needs a community. The work is deciding which part of your experience has practical value for a specific person right now. That is where clarity begins. This is why a mentor-led process matters. If I only ask, what do you want to build? I may send you deeper into your own uncertainty. A person can have a lot of experience and still not know which part of it should become a community, a course, or an offer. The better role is to help you make a sound decision. We are looking at what you know, what people need, what the market is already signaling, and what can be turned into a simple path. The goal is not to make you busy. The goal is to keep you from building something polished but unclear. The process is simple, but it has to happen in order. Extract, narrow, match, validate, approve, and build. And I want you to notice build is last. That is intentional. We do not skip straight to school setup. We first pull out the useful knowledge, narrow it down, match it to a real person and problem, validate it, and then approve it. Once approved, building becomes focused. The cadence keeps us from confusing motions without progress. It also keeps your next 3 months from becoming a cycle of rewriting, naming, and rebuilding the same unclear idea. Extracts mean we pull the useful pattern out of your experience. That is more than just listing your job and your life story. We're looking for repeated moments, problems people came to you to solve, systems you improved, people you helped, confusion you learned to simplify, decisions you learned to make, and mistakes you can help someone else avoid. The question is not simply, what happened to you? The question is, what do you learn that can help someone else move forward? That is the difference between telling your story and turning your story into something useful. Narrowing is not shrinking value. It's making the value usable. When someone can see a narrow first win, they are more likely to see they can start. Once we narrow, we match. This is where structure becomes person, problem, path. Who is the person? What problem are we already aware of? What path can help them make progress? Only after that do we talk about platform. Person first, problem second, path third, platform last. When that order is right, the community feels like a solution. When that order is wrong, it feels like another online group. The match is where experience becomes relevant to someone else. Validation is where we look for evidence. We don't need to turn this into a complicated research, but we do need more than a good feeling. Are people already asking about this? Are they trying to salve it somewhere else? Are there books, videos, courses, consultants, communities, or conversations around the problem? What words are people using? What do they complain about? What are they afraid of? Evidence helps us separate a personal idea from a direction that may actually serve people. Enthusiasm is useful, but evidence protects the build. Approval is one of the most important parts of the process. Before we build, we approve the direction. That means the audience is clear, the problem matters, and the promised progress is believable, and the path makes sense. This protects you from building the wrong thing beautifully. A lot of people build lessons, logos, pages, and content before they know what the whole thing is supposed to do. We do not do that. No approval, no construction. Approval is the checkpoint that turns the idea into a buildable direction. Once the direction is approved, the build out gets much easier. Now the name has a job. The about page has a job. The start here lesson has a job. The free path has a job. The paid path has a job. The content has a job. Everything points back to the person, problem, path. That is what makes the community feel coherent instead of scattered. We are no longer throwing assets into a Skool group. We are building a guided experience around an approved direction. Skool is a good container for this, but it's still a container. The value is not in I have a Skool group. The value is I have a clear path that helps a specific person make progress. The platform supports the experience, but it cannot replace the thinking. When the pathway is clear, Skool helps organize that. When the pathway is unclear, Skool just gives the confusion a nicer place to live. That is why we start with direction, not setup. So what I wanted to do at this point is just give you an idea of what the starter is all about. Look at the whole classroom, actually. You can see the starter, the guided build out, the done for you build out. If you want to say, you know what, James, let's go through the starter. Let's put everything together and you build my Skool community for me. I got it. You'll click here. You'll see the starter. Begin here. That'll be a video kind of giving you an idea of how to navigate the Skool. Right here, you'll see welcome, and I'll give a welcome. That's an actual video with a welcome. I have the different chapters. If you want to click and go to a specific part, you can. Then we have how it works. And so right here is where we really get into it. We click here, we listen to the video and watch it. We also have some reading points down here. And then obviously we wanted to get to the point, I help blank with blank so they can blank, right? We talked about that a little bit already. But what we do right here in video one, how it works is we actually begin by going to this location right here. This is the member guide. And all you do is click on it. When you click on it, the member guide comes up, the Experience to Income Starter Workbook, and we'll go through the workbook. You'll start, welcome to the starter, and we go through these questions. What do I hope to get clear about as I begin this starter? What part of my experience do I believe may still have value? Then we go here, how it works, and these will coincide with the different modules, the 7 modules, the Skool, and the class. This is the starter. So you'll see already understand a paid problem. This one is in here. What would extra income change? And we'll go through how would extra income actually change your life? Who could you help turn your experience into a clear language? What happens next? How to book a direction call. And I give the instructions there of how to do that. The Experience to Income Spark Library right here. And so what you would do, there's some excerpts right here: caregiving, retirement transition, healthcare experience, hobby experience, faith-based experience, life transition experience. Then there's an action step at the bottom. But what happens, this is an excerpt and so are these, but if we actually click here, it's just like the workbook. We click it, it opens to the actual workbook. And now let me magnify this so you can really see it. All right, so now This is the library. Now, when we go through how to use the library, and I give that information, categories, work and leadership, money and retirement, tech, AI, and digital tools, hobbies, crafts, creative skills, health, wellness, and fitness, sports and recreation, faith, Bible, and spiritual growth, relationship, family, and caregiving, home, lifestyle, and practical skills, creativity, writing, and content, local business and service skills, legacy, teaching, and community. And your skill set, what you already know, may be in one of these categories. And then to help you spark your memory even more, we go into detail on every one of them, as you'll see here. After approval, we can build the actual asset. That may include the starter path, a paid path, a starter here experience, lesson sequence, and many other assets that may be involved. But now we are not guessing. We are building from an approved direction. That is the difference between a community that looks active and a community that actually guides people. The question is no longer, what else should I add? The question is, what does this person need to move through the path? This is for experienced adults who know they have something useful, but don't want to guess their way into an online business. It is for people who want their experience to serve others in a clear and responsible way. It is not for someone looking for shortcuts, a trend, or a magic platform. The platform can help. AI can help. Structure can help, but the direction has to be chosen. If you want to build from what you already know, and you want that build to be thoughtful, useful, and guided, this is the right starting point. So the next step is simple. Do not start by decorating the idea. Do not spend the next several weeks trying to name something that has not been clarified yet. Start with the direction. We extract, narrow, match, validate, approve, and then build. If this is the way you want to start to approach your school community, begin with the starter path or book a direction call. We begin with the direction worth building. Then we build what the direction requires.